we're on our way to Napa Auto Parts.
Yep.
Thank you, Jesus, that we have another vehicle that we can use
That's so
to get
true.
places.
I can't believe before Liam we were going to do this
I don't know how people
without
do
a
it
vehicle.
without like a tow vehicle or
Yeah.
something to be able to make run. Maybe their buses are perfect, but I don't know.
I don't think so. Alright, so we are leaving the state park today and headed to another location.
In this week's video, we made our way out of Palo Duro Canyon State Park and quickly headed towards East Texas before we ran into some more problems.
Well, I guess we wore these little guys out today. We got Liam sleeping on Mama. It's a terrible video. Hang on. Liam sleeping on Mama. No, he's sleeping on Dad. Look at that guy. And this one. They're just laid out.
Get that thing on long enough, you'll catch me sleeping on Mom's shoulder.
This morning we found ourselves waking up at a rest stop and then quickly preparing to hit the road so we could get into the Dallas area and meet up with some of our really good friends at a nice little coffee shop.
Is that scary good? Is it scary good? Huh? Yeah. We're having dinner with the fam.
After grabbing some coffee, we all headed back to the bus to have a sweet game night and dinner with our good friends Casey and Elisa and their daughter Emma.
So this is the part of bus life that not a lot of people talk about, because if you do, then people that aren't in bus life and don't understand it just kind of see all the negatives, I guess. But it can be really frustrating, and it can be like you kind of want to throw in the towel sometimes, and you think, what the crap, because we went to leave.
And the bus started perfectly. Started right up.
Gosh, it's so stupid, and it's super cold, which I don't know if you've been following along, but if you have, you know that the bus hates the cold. So we just kind of expect it not to start for a bit after
at least
it's super cold. Yeah.
It didn't struggle, started right up.
Anyways, we go to leave the, I don't know why I said Airbnb, Harvest Host spot that we're at. And so therefore, meaning we're parked in someone's driveway. So Harvest Host, which we've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but it's like a membership thing we can pay. I think we paid $70 for the entire year, and you can use it, and pretty much like we can take the bus, look on this like map app type thing that shows you where there are Harvest Hosts. You put in, you ask if you can stay there, you stay. It's super simple, super amazing. They've been really nice, and we've honestly stayed there like probably 50% of the time in our travels. But that being said, literally we go to leave these people's driveway and get to the front of their driveway with the bus, and just slipping, the bus dies.
Well, it doesn't die. The transmission is slipping, and it keeps slipping to where literally I can't even pull forward. It just starts rolling backwards back down the small hill that we're on, the incline.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't do anything.
You need to
So
stop trying to be all.
I had to stop and park it, and I turned it off. And when I turned it off, I tried to start it again, and the check transmission light was on, and it won't even turn over or do anything.
So like for the first time ever, I'm normally like super, which Landon's the one that has to stress it and worry about it, because I just kind of take care of Liam. And so I'll give him that. So he normally is the one that's like mad or frustrated or done with it. But in that moment, I literally thought, let's just sell the stupid thing. We should just sell it. Like I did. And I didn't even tell him that, but it's getting old. And I think that probably
If it's not one thing.
that's it. Like, but it's been a lot lately. And I was telling our friends, Josh and Emily, because thank God he is like very well-rounded with mechanic stuff. And so Landon calls Josh pretty much every time at this point to try and ask for some help. And they're super kind. But I was on the phone talking to Emily, and I pretty much told her, I was like, I think that like it's mostly just so frustrating right now, because I know you guys watched our video where we got stuck at like Four Corners Monument. And so when we got stuck there, we had a mechanic look over the whole bus, like pretty much. Like asked
They even
him
rode with
to
us
check everything.
in the
Yeah,
bus. Like I
that's what I'm
drove
saying.
like 10 miles with the guy on the bus so he could listen to everything, make sure it's all good.
And so,
And
like,
all was good.
I'm not sure when you'll see this video, but that was only a few weeks from when I'm recording it right now. And so, not even that, I think 2 weeks maybe. And so it's just so irritating because it feels like the bus should be just
Should be
fine.
perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I know things come up in vehicles like after you go get them checked, but it definitely shouldn't be like big stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Anyways, long story
Yeah.
short, we're on our way to Napa Auto Parts.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus, that we have another vehicle that we can
That's
use
so
to get
true. I
places.
can't believe before Liam we were gonna do
I don't
this
know how
without
people
a
do it
vehicle.
without like a tow vehicle or
Yeah.
something to be able to make run. Maybe their buses are perfect, but I don't
I
know.
don't think those really exist.
So we're going to Napa, and we're
Yeah.
hopefully going to get some transmission fluid, and hope and pray that that fixes our issue this morning.
Yeah, so we're traveling back towards home, if you haven't been following, and we would like to, I guess, just get home. This morning, Landon kind of pretty much said he was like ready to just be home and not traveling anymore, and it's probably a lot to do with this.
I'm
stuff.
ready to be in an area where we can like have the bus serviced and all things
But it
looked
doesn't
over.
even really matter, in my opinion, if we get the stupid thing looked
Yeah.
over, because then we are gonna pull out in a
And
couple of
something else
months
could
and
come
something
up.
else is
But
gonna
you know,
happen. I don't know.
the good news is we get to be in our house wherever we're at. We take it wherever we want. We live in it. We don't pay rent. We don't have a house payment.
Gas.
Gas is expensive
Yeah.
sometimes, but
Yeah.
for the most part, like,
It is
it's
a
awesome.
blessing.
We
It
have
is a
so much
blessing.
freedom in it, even though it's hard. And there's like, let me tell you, if you don't know already, if you're thinking about the nomad life or schoolie life or tiny whatever, it's not always easy.
No, not even
But-
close. Yeah.
We would say it's worth it.
I do think it's worth it, yeah. Anyways, so there you go. There's our spill. We didn't really want to make this video because I told Landon like the second before I clicked start, like, I'm just so mad. I'm
These
so
things
sick
aren't
of
fun.
this stuff happening. But yeah, we want to share the ups and the downs. So here they are. Headed to Napa to buy transmission fluid and cross our fingers and pray that it fixes the bus and we get to where we're needing to go today. All right, William is really upset. It cost a whole $208 to buy, what is this stuff? Transmission
Yeah.
oil?
I got transmission fluid. I got 2 gallons of it. But I also bought new inner and outer air filters because we've never replaced those.
Yeah. Anyways, so, but thankfully Landon said the lady did give him like some discount.
I got like $100 off at Napa, thanks to Cheryl. That's what I'm talking about.
Cheryl. We're gonna go grab some lunch. This is footage for when you don't believe us, when you are older. But you acted crazy.
So I just pulled over at a gas station. I just hobbled here. I think it was like, I don't know, at first it was slipping through gears like I'm trying to go, and it was just dropping a lower gear and wouldn't let me go. And then, you know, the check trains light was blinking on and off, and the range inhibitor was blinking on and off. And then finally, before I got here, I think it just stayed in first gear, and I barely, you know, paddled into a gas station.
Cheese, you do it.
And I would like put it in fourth.
Say
and then go into
cheese.
drive, and it would... So we made the run to Napa. We ended up having to go to 2 different Napa stores to find the transmission fluid that we needed. So like 2 hours later, we made it back. We put some transmission fluid into the bus, filled it up. All was good. Got it to the line. Anyway, so we started the bus. We were able to take off. Everything was good. We left the harvest host that we were at. And about 5 miles down the road, we started having the same issues. And so we're currently parked at a gas station that we barely limped into. And I've tried multiple things. I've looked up, or I've checked our fluid again, and we're good. And I've gone and unplugged the transmission and the speedometer that tells the transmission when to shift gears, and try to plug that back in, and that's all good. And now the bus won't start because the check trans light is on, and it won't allow the bus to start. So right now I have the batteries disconnected, and we're trying to reset the computer, and then we'll go from there.
All right, well, just for reference, here we are again. We're actually in a big city this time. We are in like the Dallas area, and Landon has now called, what, 7?
Probably more than that. It blows my mind that there is no one around here that can help. This is insane.
Anyways, long story short, pretty much a lot of them say they're either just not mobile diesel mechanics and or they literally don't know how to work on the bus. So we're not having much luck. Obviously, we're both pretty annoyed, and I think probably wouldn't be so frustrated other than the fact that like we were just dealing with all of this like I don't know, a week and a half ago, and so it's just kind of feeling like one hit after another. Not to mention that it's like the 25th of February and we have to be back for work stuff like 100% by March 1st, which thankfully we're only like 100 miles from home, and we do have family that's sort of in this area. Not really, it's almost like an hour or more away, but I don't know. Long story short, it's just becoming a little frustrating, which if you've been here and you've been in bus life, you know that like it brings the extreme highs and the extreme lows. And so here we are. I think that we're kind of starting to hit a little bit more of the frustrating of the lows.
All right, I just noticed I have oil or something on my face from being in the bus. We have now called 19 mechanics in the DFW area on a Saturday.
We're in a big city. Like, so I want to just go ahead and protest the whole, it was the fact the last time we broke down we were in the middle of nowhere. I don't even think it matters.
Nope, we're in the middle of city right now,
Like
and no one can help
big
us.
Cities.
We need someone with a computer that can read our codes from our Allison transmission. And we found one that said that he could potentially be here in the next 3 hours. So, stuck in a parking lot. Here we are. Currently underneath the bus. You can kind of see it's raining. We have a diesel mechanic out, and he's about to check to make sure we're getting power to our starter, and we're just trying to eliminate some of the issues as we go down because the computer didn't read any fault codes that were active right now, and so we're just trying to figure it all out in here. That's my fear. I don't want to take off and then the same thing happen.
Alright, so we're still in the gas station parking lot. And as you can see in the video, if Landon posted it, the mechanic didn't really do hardly anything. And who knows what we're about to pay him, which kind of sucks. But he was going to just leave and we were going to like pull out in the morning. But we're going to go ahead and pull around the parking lot and see what happens. So, yeah. Well, normal so far. No check transmission light or anything. Pulling back in the gas station. Might try and look up and see if there's anywhere closer that we can park without getting in trouble, but who knows.
All right, so a diesel mechanic came out and worked for a couple hours on checking all the different stuff on the engine and connectors and just everything, hooking up his diagnostic computer, and he was reading that our transmission control module was getting low or getting a power input signal to our transmission, which was making it do crazy things and not the right things. So we actually got the bus started and we test drove it. We didn't want to go too far because it's already dark and nighttime and Liam's asleep. And so we test drove and drove about 10 miles to our handy Cracker Barrel, because we love Cracker Barrels and they're great places to stay. But anyways, we made it here for the night. He does think it's a battery issue because we might not be getting enough voltage to our TCM, or while we're driving, the voltage is acting weird. And so we're actually going to try to get new batteries in the morning before we head off on our journey home, because we have about 100 miles to go. So hopefully our batteries will help, but we'll keep you updated on all this crazy stuff.
One good thing happened today. Our TikTok. To a lot of people this is probably silly, but to us it's like huge. Our TikTok just hit 10K! So if you don't know, I think that means you're supposed to be able to like start monetizing on TikTok once you hit 10K. I may be wrong, but if I'm wrong, I don't care. It's still really cool and really exciting, and I'm super hyped. He's so excited. Knock, knock. It's Memo and Bud. Hey, can I see? What did Memo give you? She gave you this card. Do you want to open it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Here you go. Open it. Get it. Oh, you got some money? Are you kidding me? We're going to put that in your piggy bank. Oh, look at him. He's putting it in his shirt. Is that your piggy bank? You got to open it. Open it. Whoa, you got some money. That's literally probably his first like actual card he's opened and saw money in there. Do you know what you do with that? Should we read it? Wishing sweet and special you a big happy smile, some funny silly giggles, and more hugs, and there are many candy hearts. Happy Valentine's Day with love. Liam, my little man. I love you so much. Love, Memo. Oh my goodness, how stinking sweet. Say thank you. Can you give Memo a kiss?
Oh, you make him so happy. Right there. Here you go.
Get it. Oh, good job. High five.
Yes.
Bubbles.
Oh, look at that damn bubble.
Blow some more.
He wants to see you.
Bubbles. Yeah. Blow it. Yeah. Smells so good. Give it to Memo. Say love you.
Thank you.
I'm not a licensed mechanic,
Not even close.
but I try.
What are you doing?
Long story short, our bus is still having problems. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a few minutes of kind of what I'm doing. But I've been under the bus all morning, working on stuff, getting dirty, greasy, oily, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so we're still having some bus issues. We made it home actually, so we're in a safe place. We had a place to stay for the night, which has been great. I just spent the morning under the bus, as you can see, all my greasy hands and things. But on the way here, our transmission light was still coming on. We'd lose power and then it would go off and we'd be okay. And it was kind of back and forth. So I talked to the diesel mechanic that helped us the other night, and he said to go get some dielectric grease and electric spray cleaner and then go through my connections, because it seemed like there's a short because it's just happening randomly. And so I went through all of my connections from my battery and chased it pretty much to my transmission. I ended up taking off the transmission control module and cleaning all those plugs and everything. But we'll keep you updated. If not, we'll be looking for a diesel mechanic shop, because I think that's the end of my specialties, sadly.
Ash.
Asher.
Hi,
Asher. Hi. Grandma's at work. She'll be here in a little bit. It's Grandma. Yay. Nope. Hi, Grandma's here. It's a professional dog walker right here. Liam, what's your hourly rate?
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Watch. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so it's the last day this cute little Jeep's gonna be riding behind the bus. We actually, thankfully listed it a week or two ago. Maybe it was 3 weeks, I'm not really sure. But to sell it in hopes that we could find something else. It's a 4-door, just because it's a little more complicated with our little man, getting him in and out, and we wanted something with a tiny bit more better gas mileage, since we're gonna be driving back and forth for weddings and all that stuff. So Landon listed this guy, and thankfully it's sold, and so we're gonna go drop it off, ironically, in Texarkana with someone today. And last night, thankfully, Landon and his grandpa went and picked up what I'm driving in right now, which is our new to us Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. So this is exciting. What's up? So there was one more thing that we wanted to mention. So we know that the majority of you that are probably following our account, especially the newer people that are following along, are here for bus content. But there will be no bus content if we don't have a job and fund the traveling and all the fun stuff.
We have to have a way to make money to be able to travel on the bus.
So what's going on right now is basically we're back in the East Texas area for a couple of months, for a little bit, so that we can shoot all of our weddings. So if you don't already know, we're a husband and wife photography and videography wedding team. So we have 16 total weddings, I think, this year. So that's what we're doing. We're on our way to a wedding today, and we'll definitely probably share some of our work with you every now and then, some sneak peeks and stuff like that. Don't worry, we won't bombard you, but the dream of our business is how we keep the dream of the bus going, if that makes sense. So yeah, that answers your guys' questions. What do we do for a living? All right, so at this point we're basically paying rent in what I would call mechanic fees. We just paid a whole $1,200 here at the International mechanic shop place, whatever, and they did a massive overhead, supposedly fixed like a minor oil leak that we were having, and also fixed our transmission issue. So I'm sure that Landon will go into a little bit more detail about all of that, but essentially the bus is quote unquote fixed, and we are now probably 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22, about $3,000 into mechanic fixes and issues since we got on the bus. So, boo. But there's still good and positive things, but there's some of the negative for you.